Hey guys, Dan Picard with Eastmans Hunting Journals. We're doing a gear review today on the Eberlestock X2. Now this is fun for me because this is a blast from the past, but we also have the new design on my back. But this is the original X2 and my first backpack that I got when I was a hunting guide starting back in 2010. This pack has been all over the place from Montana, Wyoming, Hawaii, Arizona. I did a lot of hunting in this pack. So out with the old and in with the new. Eberlestock redesigned the X2 and they made it better. So the first thing that I like about this pack is the tubular frame. It's kind of an internal frame. You can kind of see it here, but the tubular frame just gives me the ability to take a day hunting pack, but easily throw a hindquarter from an elk in it and comfortably pack it back to camp to get my main frame or whatever else I am to pack the rest of the meat. Even more importantly, you have this space in the middle of your pack to put the hock of a hindquarter, you know, when the base of the hindquarter is right here, you can stick it up through. Whereas, you know, on the old design, this was just integrated, the lid's integrated into the pack and sewn in there, so you have no through feature. So yeah, I really like the detachable lid for that reason. It's more modular, it's more adjustable. Also makes this pack really awesome, in my opinion, is just how it holds meat and how it compresses together. You have two vertical straps and you have two horizontal straps. And then you have your bag, your main compartment here as well for your gear. And what I really liked about this pack is that you can put your gear on the inside in the bag side and then slap your meat on the outside and strap it together, and your stuff isn't getting bloody, it's not getting dirty, it's not getting stinky on the inside of the pack. You're keeping the meat and the blood on the outside. So I really enjoyed that. It's a little bit small for like a multi-day, you know, backpacking pack. 2,450 cubic inches on this pack. So it's not giant, but I would do 2 to 3 day excursions with this pack and not have an issue. I might have to put my sleeping bag on the outside and strap it to the outside, but you could get by with it. And that's what I used back in the day. So, you know, the new version is 2 inches taller than the old version. And you can see that the old version, it's a pretty short torsoed pack that's not adjustable. So when you're using this pack, you have to keep that in mind, that the yoke is not adjustable. So me personally, I'm 6 foot 165. The original X2 was a little bit short on me, but the new one actually does fit me pretty darn well. But if you're, you know, if you're 6'2 plus, it's probably not the pack for you unless you have a shorter torso. But just be aware of that when you're trying on and buying a pack, is you want that waist belt to ride right there on the top of your hip, so your pelvis there. And then, you know, it's nice to have a little bit of, you know, the load lifter adjustment, but for a day pack, I don't get too wound up about it. Now, as far as improvements go, they just kind of change things around a little bit. You have some MOLLE on the waist belt here where you can strap a pistol or any other pouch. You know, the old version kind of had this integrated pouch. I didn't really use it too much. Maybe I put a knife in it or something, but I like the integration of the MOLLE where you can kind of put what you want on there. As if you'll notice with Eberlestock packs, you know, the batwings, right? That's kind of one of their designs, and this kind of has the same, you know, idea with the X2, is the kind of the batwing design. So you have these compartments on the sides with a couple zippers, and you have the stretchy pocket on the outside for water bottles and some more MOLLE. Once again, that's one thing I used with these X2 packs, you know, overcoming the smaller cubic inches, is the MOLLE and attaching stuff to the outside of your pack, whether it's a tent or a sleeping bag, maybe a sleeping pad, something that won't fit in the bag. It really came in handy. So I can't stress that enough. Use your MOLLE webbing, you know, where they put it. It's pretty sweet. It's a minimalist pack. I mean, it's thought out because there's storage. You know, you have access to your main bag from the side, and then you have this little stretchy panel pocket up front to put extra stuff in. And then you just have your, your main bag area that's pretty minimalist. Not a lot of organizing inside, which I like, because the more pockets you have, the more material you have, the more the pack's gonna weigh. So this pack's right there at 5 pounds total. So for a tubular frame pack, that's pretty good. It's not a heavy pack. So to mention too is this like suede material. It's dead silent. So when you're bow hunting, I took my old one to Hawaii and hunted a ton in the Kiaves. And the Kiaves are, it's a mesquite tree with a bunch of thorns and a bunch of limbs on it, a lot of dead limbs. And this really quiet suede, this material, you don't see it too much anymore on backpacks, but it's very silent. And so I would find that I would just leave my pack on at all times when I was hunting, because just moving through the brush and sneaking, it was so quiet, so there was no reason to take it off. So just another little bonus that I really appreciate with this type of material. These side compartments are great for, you can fit a full-size spotter, no problem. I put a tripod in there, I put rope in there, trekking poles in there, my sleeping pad in there because I'd roll it up like that. But yeah, those long narrow pouches are pretty handy. And then also the tubular frame, right? That's a big part that really drew me to this pack, is the ability to keep its rigidity when I'm packing heavy weight. She's seen some miles. Look at that, it's even some red dirt from Hawaii from back several years ago. Be sure to check it out. The X2 from Eberlestock, redesigned, one of my favorite all-time packs. Consider it for your next day hunt, maybe 2, 3 extended day hunt. It's definitely a good one.